We've been married 50 years, and my husband Jason and I are at death's door. Lena, he spoke with a tremor. If there's a next life, I won't marry you again. I'll choose Celine. He breathed his last. I was furious enough to die. When I opened my eyes again, I saw 23-year-old Jason. Lena, are you deaf? Blinding sunlight stabbed my eyes. I snapped them open. Standing before me was 23-year-old Jason, sharp brows and bright eyes, his suit immaculate, staring at me with disgust. I'd been reborn to the day he broke up with me. In my previous life, I knelt and begged him not to leave, crying until I fainted and was taken to the hospital before he reluctantly agreed not to break up. Now, the thought that he'd been clinging to his first love, even on his deathbed, made my heart ache as if pricked by needles. Lena, whether you split with me or not, you have to leave. I know you like me, but I have to be responsible to Celine. Break up. Fine. I curled my mouth coldly. He choked in surprise, his face flushing red. I suppose the lines he'd prepared got stuck in his throat. I suddenly felt like laughing. Only after you stop loving someone can you see their true face. Looking back, he broke up with me to make me suffer, to make me beg, to make me utterly low in this relationship. May you and dogs be matched forever, till the end of time. I turned and walked away. My wrist was yanked hard. Who are you cursing? His face went ashen. Maybe because no one had ever insulted him so filthy before, he couldn't accept it at once. I shook off his hand.
Don't understand, then let me
make it clearer. I stood on tiptoe and leaned close to his ear. Celine is a you are a dog. Perfect match. He raised his hand to slap me. I beat him to it and slapped him first so hard my palm went numb. That slap is for all your years of false affection. The students around us gasped. Jason's left cheek quickly swelled and re-aimed. He touched his face in disbelief. Are you crazy?
No.
I took 2 steps back, smiling brightly. I just don't like dirty dogs anymore. Jason stood frozen, staring at me as if I were a monster. I knew what he was thinking. After all, in my previous life, I was the kind of hopeless romantic who would wait 3 hours in the rain for a single word from him. Glancing at the classmates gathered around, Jason struck another disgustingly cold pose. I never thought you'd become so unreasonable, like a shrew. Jealousy has distorted you, but I'm not going to change my mind. The onlookers around them began to whisper. All right, stop making a fool of yourself here. I waved my hand. Don't worry. If I, Lena, so much as glance at you again from now on, may I be struck by lightning. After saying that, I turned and walked away. My steps so light I felt like I could almost fly. So, this is what it feels like to let someone go. I fumbled for my phone and texted my father. Dad, about the Zhao family's project. Don't make it difficult for them. We're not investing. Back in the dorm, I was still buzzing. I stood before the mirror and saw my 25-year-old self-reflected back, cheeks full of collagen, eyes bright and clear. Idiot, I said to the version of myself in the glass. Is it worth dying for a man? Of course, it's not worth it. In my previous life, I was just too love-rained, thinking Jason was perfect in every way. Dad called me. Lena, what's going on? Yesterday, you were even begging me to help Jason. Dad, I only wanted to help him as a friend, but I analyzed it, and this project is too risky, I said quickly. It's better not to take that chance. Dad was clearly taken aback. Friends. Aren't you two dating? No, just friends. And now we're not even friends anymore, I said lightly. Yesterday, he was even staying at a hotel with a girl. My dad was silent for a moment, then asked me cautiously. Lena, are you okay? I'm fine. He's not good enough for me. I said that without the slightest hesitation. On the other end of the line, my father seemed to let out a sigh of relief. That's good. If anything comes up, tell your dad. After hanging up, I felt like crying. In my previous life, I owed my parents so much. For my sake, they had invested in a very risky project for the Zhao family only because Jason's father, Victor, went to my dad and said, Your Lena is head over heels for my boy. What's the point of pretending otherwise? Sooner or later, they'll be family. Once this risk is managed, we'll arrange the wedding for the two children. After we married, they also did everything they could to help the Zhao family. All so I could have a slightly better life. But in the end, the company was swallowed by the Zhao, and they were pushed off the board long before their time.
Dad even tried to console me.
We're getting old. Wouldn't it be nice to rest earlier? Let Jason worry more about things. At the time, I actually thought that made sense in this life. I won't make the same mistake again. I made it clear to Dad that we would have nothing to do with the Zhao family's business. When you truly let someone go, only then can you see their true face. For the sake of my breasts, to love myself, to love my family. Stay away from scumbags, seize youth, and go wild while you can. The campus entrepreneurship competition registration deadline is 3 days away. The next day, while going to the cafeteria to eat, I saw this poster. In my previous life, I missed this competition because I was devastated by a breakup. Jason's team won second place, and that became the seed money for his startup. Interested in this? A clear male voice said from behind. I turned and saw a pale, skinned boy carrying a backpack, wearing a white shirt and jeans with a pair of black framed glasses. Behind the lenses were eyes tinged with a smile.
Leo.
In the previous life, Leo had been a tech funkant. The company he founded went public 5 years later with a market value in the billions. Tell me about your project. Leo's eyes lit up. He pulled a laptop from his backpack and quickly brought up an interface, an AI-based medical imaging diagnostic aid. Simply put, it's about getting computers to help doctors identify early-stage cancer more accurately. My heart jolted. Isn't this exactly the direction that's going to be all the rage in 20 years? In my previous life, when I was in my 50s, it was precisely by using an early version of such a system that I detected my breast cancer early and saved my life. I drew on the 75 years of experience from my former life and outlined to him the immature commercialization paths in the plan. Leo's eyes behind his glasses grew wider and wider. Yui opened his mouth. How could you be able to so fast? Commercial instinct, I said, lightly. By the way, why did you come to me? I've been watching you for a long time. He pushed up his glasses, the corner of his mouth quirking. My heart stirred. We sat down to talk in detail. When I returned to the dorm, I was surrounded by my enthusiastic roommates. They consoled me in a jumble of voices, and only after a long while did I understand. It turned out Jason's breakup had spread on the campus forum. I clicked it open. School heartthrob Jason's new romance exposed. A divine love. Scrolling down, the comment section had already exploded. I heard Jason just dumped Lena. She should have been dumped long ago. Lena simply isn't worthy of Jason. Okay. Reliable sources say it was Lena who clung to Jason and wouldn't let go. Jason couldn't take it anymore and broke up with her. I heard the senior Celine, who graduated from abroad, is the real goddess, wealthy family, and a Cambridge high achiever. I narrowed my eyes. Celine had been Jason's childhood first love. In my previous life, after the Shin family's business collapsed in the country, the whole family moved abroad. Celine was the one who at that time slipped away without a word and went abroad to attend a diploma mill of a university. Jason was down for a long time, and later he turned back and chased after me. I don't know what spell was cast over me, but I actually believed his smooth talk. Later, when Celine returned, they couldn't wait to start sneaking around together. But in the end, it was the Zhao family's financing deal that forced him to marry me. I thought that with enough time, true feelings could be exchanged for true hearts. Just as I was about to close the page, a new post suddenly popped up. Lena's hidden dark past. I clicked in. The whole thing was a pack of fabrications, claiming I dated several boyfriends at once, saying I got into a prestigious school through family connections, even insinuating I used improper methods to pursue Jason. The poster's ID was CC. Could it be Celine? In my past life, if I'd seen this, I would have collapsed and wept uncontrollably. Now, I took screenshots to preserve the evidence and sent them to my father's company's legal department. Then, I registered a new account and left a comment under the post. Spreading false rumors can lead to imprisonment if shared by over 500 people. Evidence has been collected. OP expect a court summons. Unsavory tactics. How blind was I in my previous life to give everything for a man like that? 3 days later, at the preliminary contest, Jason linked arms with Celine and swaggered in with 2 team members. Celine wore designer clothes, chin held high. Indeed, the most dazzling figure in the room, and I couldn't tell what she was trying to show off. "Oh, isn't this Lena?" Jason deliberately raised his voice. Already found a new lover so quickly. His gaze swept over Leo with a sneer. "A computer science nerd. Lena, your taste has really gone downhill." Celine covered her mouth and laughed softly. "So, this is freshman Lena. Looks like Leo, your eye for people isn't that great either." Sure enough, you can't expect elegance from a filthy mouth. My eyes slid over Celine's belly. "I heard Jason's going to be responsible for you. Just wonder if it's actually his. Make sure to do a paternity test when the baby is born." Jason exploded with anger, pointing at me. "You don't keep yourself in check, and now you're slandering others." I rifled through my bag and pulled out a stack of photos. "I was kindly warning you, and you tried to bite me. I have been vaccinated against rabies. And you selling yourself isn't shameful. The shame is you can't even get a good price. Is school the place for you to be, madam?" These are screenshots from the videos of Jason and you checking into a hotel while we were dating. So tell me, who is the one not keeping themselves in check? Don't you have any sense? You're out of your mind dragging me into this? "I'm not a vet," I said, then turned and walked toward the contestant seating, leaving the 2 of them pale as iron and a crowd of onlookers buzzing with gossip. The preliminaries went smoothly. Leo handled the technical side while I took care of the business plan, precisely analyzing the project's market pain points and revenue model. We advanced to the finals in first place. Jason's flashy interface failed to win over the investors, and he barely scraped into last place. Jason blocked me in the hallway, his voice cold. "Don't celebrate too soon. The finals are where it really counts." I couldn't be bothered to respond, and was about to walk away when his phone suddenly rang. After he finished the call, Jason came over looking sullen. He stared at me, furious. "Was that you?" I looked innocent. "Are you saying someone found out about posting on the confession wall for him?" The Lind suddenly pulled their investment. "Do you know how much they will lose?" He lowered his voice, almost grinding his teeth. "Just because we broke up. Are you taking revenge on me like this?" So that's what it was. Jason is hopeless, too. It's been several days and his family had only just told him about this. I smiled casually. How can that be called pulling out? They never even invested. No way. No way. They can't survive without that money. You wait. He scowled and led his men away. Once life returned to normal, my outlook broadened. It felt good. By the afternoon, gossip about the school heartthrob Jason had spread across campus. After all, he was the school's big name. The forum even paired a meme of me scolding him with a short clip of Jason leaving the scene dejectedly as a comparison. Lena is seriously both fierce and cool. I'm obsessed. Jason seemed pretty gentle. Who would have thought he'd be such a jerk? Poster above. You're deluding yourself. That mistress clearly looks cheap. Why do Lena and Leo seem so well matched? Am I the only one who thinks that? In my last life, I was also fooled by Jason's facade. Even when he messed up, as long as he obediently admitted it, I would forgive him easily. Now that the filters I had placed over him are gone, I see the real him, and he makes me nauseous. I actually lived with a person like this for an entire lifetime. Over the past week, Jason began appearing in my field of vision more and more. Library, cafeteria, classroom buildings, each time looking as if he wanted to say something but stopped himself. I knew what scheme he was plotting. The Lin family's withdrawal of funds had clearly dealt a heavy blow to the zoo. His father must have given Jason strict orders to win me back. It was too late. Who would pity a dog that had betrayed its master? On the day of the final, our performance was even more flawless. In the end, we won the championship without question and caught the eye of the venture capital firms. Jason's team didn't even make the top 3. Through the gaps in the crowd, I saw Jason standing alone in a corner, staring at us with an intensity I'd never seen before. Anger, envy, and a hint of regret. Pleasure working with you. After the crowd dispersed, Leo held out his hand to me. Honestly, you're the most formidable business strategist I've ever met. I took his hand. This is only the beginning. I was teasing. After all, I had decades of hands-on experience and perspective from my previous life. Stepping out of the venue, my phone vibrated. A text from Jason. Lena, we need to talk. I blocked him on the spot. Jason, this is nothing really. A week after winning the startup competition, Leo and I practically camped out in the computer science department's lab, optimizing the system. At 3 o'clock in the morning, the lab held only the two of us, coffee cups lined up on the table. I watched Leo's long fingers dance across the keyboard, feeling content. He turned to look at me, the eyes behind his glasses weary yet bright with excitement. You're really not tired? No, I smiled. Back when I was racing to finish projects, I stayed up for 3 days straight more than once. It was the truth. In my previous life, when I helped Jason start his company, I often worked through the night. He, on the other hand, always had social engagements. Whenever he came home late, I'd force myself to clean him up until he slept comfortably, and only then would I allow myself to rest. You're only a senior. Where did you get so much project experience? Leo asked curiously. Family business, grew up around it. I brushed it off lightly, steering the topic back to business. We were talking when the lab door suddenly swung open. Jason stood in the doorway, holding 2 elegant takeaway boxes. He'd clearly dressed up, but his handsome, sharp features darkened the moment he saw Leo.
Lena.
He quickly smoothed his expression, revealing the gentle smile I knew well. I heard you've been pulling an all-nighter here, so I brought you some late-night food. In my past life of 50 years, every time he wanted something from me, he would smile at me so gently, and I would drown in that counterfeit love. But now, that smiling face only makes me sick. Something? I asked coldly. Jason came in and set a takeout box on the table. The new Michelin Japanese place in the east of town. I remembered you liked salmon. Thanks, but no. I pushed the box away. I don't love it anymore. The smile on Jason's face froze. Lena, do we have to do this? Even if we break up, we can still be friends, can't we? Friends? I couldn't be bothered arguing with him. Jason, you suddenly coming around, all sweet. Is it because your dad is forcing you to win back Lin family's investment? His expression changed in an instant. How would I know? I cut him off. Because it's obvious. You can't even act properly. My dad called today and said Victor personally came to our house claiming we were just a young couple having a spat. Dad was worried, so he called to double-check. I said firmly, I have nothing to do with Jason anymore. Jason's mask finally slipped. He grabbed my wrist. Lena, don't be ridiculous. Who do you think you are? Do you think I can't get things done without you? Leo stood up at once. Let her go. What business is that of yours? Jason glared at him fiercely. This is between me and her. Leo pried Jason's hand away. Get out, or I'll call the police right now. Jason clutched his bruising wrist, fury nearly erupting from his eyes. In the end, he grabbed his takeout box and slammed the door on his way out. Are you okay? Leo asked, concerned, checking my hand. You've got quite a bit of strength. I rubbed my wrist. Leo blinked. I work out regularly, and I even have abs, you know. After speaking, I felt something was off and my face flushed. Quite innocent, huh? The next day at noon, Leo and I met investor Mr. Liam at a cafe. The tech is solid and the market outlook is good. He flipped through our business plan, but I've heard there are some unfavorable rumors circulating on campus. He looked at Leo and me with a knowing expression. Just as Leo was about to explain, I raised a hand to stop him. Mr. Liam, I smiled. Are you investing in a project or in gossip? If it's the latter, I suggest you buy an entertainment magazine. Mr. Liam was momentarily taken aback, then laughed heartily bold. I admire that kind of character. The meeting went surprisingly smoothly. Mr. Liam immediately pledged a $5 million angel investment in exchange for a 20% stake. After signing the letter of intent, Mr. Liam said meaningfully as he left, this young lady is not simple. If the Zhao family's son knew what he'd missed, he'd be sick with regret. After seeing Mr. Liam off. Leo breathed a long sigh of relief. That scared me to death just now. I thought he was going to pull his investment over those rumors. True businessmen only care about profit. I took a sip of coffee. Besides, those rumors won't last long. That afternoon, a new post suddenly appeared on the campus forum. A solemn statement and legal notice regarding false rumors about student Lena. The post was published by the school's official account. Its content warned the rumormongers and was accompanied by a lawyer's statement. Even more sensational, the post ended with an audio clip, a conversation between Jason and another guy, clearly showing he had instructed the other to post the smear. Public opinion erupted instantly. This is the smoking gun. Jason is so low. The official account needs to step in and settle this. Poor Lena. She breaks up and still gets slandered. After that last incident, I just felt Jason wasn't clean. I was scrolling through the comments when my phone rang. It turned out to be Jason's new number. Lena. His voice came through frantic and desperate right now. I hung up, blocked the number, deleted it. I let out a long breath. The day the business license for Qinglong Tech arrived, Leo excitedly scooped me up and spun me around. We've really started a company. He sat me down. The eyes behind his glasses shone like stars. Watching joyful Leo, I couldn't help but marvel at the strange of fate. In my past life, I was so fixated on Jason that I never noticed Leo quietly watching over me. Even after he rose to become a tech titan, I never paid him much attention. But now we have our own company, our own venture together. We've become perfect partners. On the way back to campus that evening, Jason stood at the dorm entrance waiting for me, his face dim and indistinct in the faint light. Lena, we really need to talk. I turned to slip past him. His voice was laced with suppressed anger, just because we broke up. Is it worth making your father change the family's investment strategy? It's business. I shrugged off his hand. If you insist there's a connection, fine, I admit it. I just don't want my family's money plugging the holes in your family's sinking ship.
Happy now?
He stared at me, stunned. I know, Lena. You still love me. If you can just convince your dad to keep investing, I promise I'll stop making a scene. Well, be happy. I will always treat you well. No, go be happy with your first love. You're the one who promised to take responsibility, and now what? No responsibility at all. I sneered. I wish you both well. Jason's face went deathly pale. You weren't like this before. I was too tired to argue with him when a familiar black sedan pulled up right in front of me. The window rolled down, and Leo's face appeared.
Get in.
I opened the door in surprise. How did you work overtime? In moderation, too. Leo handed me a cup of my favorite blood-glutinous rice and red bean milk tea. I cradled the warm drink, a wave of warmth rising in my chest. Thank you. The car pulled away from the hotel, and Leo suddenly asked, Are you okay? I turned to look at him. The street light played over the sharp planes of his profile. I'm better than ever. I've never been this clear-headed. I regret those days when lard clouded my mind. I've been unfair to my parents. Luckily, I finally figured out who deserves my true heart and who doesn't. The car stopped at a red light. Leo looked at me. The eyes behind his glasses were deep and bright. So, which kind am I? My heart skipped a beat. Before I could answer, his phone suddenly rang. After hanging up, Leo's face went grave. The company's servers have been hacked.
What?
Someone tried to steal our core algorithms. He slammed the steering wheel and made a U-turn. We have to get back to the office immediately. I tightened my grip on the milk teacup. A hacker attack at this hour, Jason. Surely it isn't you acting out of desperation. The company's data security crisis lasted for 3 full days. Leo and I practically lived in the office, taking turns staring at the server monitoring screens. The attack came on aggressively, clearly prepared. Our adversary wasn't just trying to steal our medical imaging algorithms. They wanted to plant a virus to corrupt the database.
Here we go again.
At 4 a.m, Leo suddenly sat up straight, his glasses reflecting the blue light of the screen. This time, it's bouncing off an agent server in Seoul, South Korea. I rubbed my aching shoulders, but my thoughts drifted to Jason. This kind of corporate espionage move was so typical of his tricks. In my previous life, his company had been accused multiple times of stealing competitors' trade secrets. I walked to the window. After days without proper rest, my temples throbbed and a wave of dizziness hit me. The next thing I knew, I was waking up in a hospital. Leo told me the doctor said it was caused by not getting enough rest. Nothing serious. Just rest well, and it'll be fine. The company, we've temporarily stopped the attacks, but before I came, I set up traps. If we're attacked again, we can quickly pinpoint the source. I woke up, and Leo couldn't hold on either. He went and slept, collapsed at the side of the bed. Looking at his broad back, a warm feeling spread through me, something I never felt from Jason in my previous life. Resting for a moment, I wanted to go out and find something to eat. Unexpectedly, I saw Jason also enter the hospital. Turns out Victor was admitted. It seems this divestment hit him hard as well. Through the ward, I heard Victor's weak but furious voice. You must salvage the Lind family. The company won't survive this quarter.
Dad, Lena hates me to the bone now.
How could I care what you do? Kneel and beg her if you have to. Victor started coughing violently. If you hadn't insisted on being with that Celine, why would the Lind family have withdrawn their investment? She's nothing but trouble.
Dad.
Celine, shut up. Victor's voice dropped suddenly.
But I still caught a crucial line.
If you can't win Lena's forgiveness, go find Mr. Kingsley. Mr. Kingsley, the boss who's rumored to only like pretty boys. I almost vomited. For the company's sake, are they really prepared to sell their son's backside? I was about to step a little closer when the elevator at the end of the corridor dinged open. Celine clicked along in high heels, clutching a luxury shopping bag. Her face still flushed from a recent beauty treatment. I quickly ducked into the corner. Jason Celine's voice was saccharine to the point of nausea. Why haven't you answered my calls? I found this new bag I like. My dad's in the ICU. Didn't I tell you to go handle things? You're buying a bag now? Jason's voice was cold as ice. Didn't the doctor say there's no danger to his life? Celine protested hurt. You promised me the bag last night. Why are you being so harsh? It's not my fault. Jason saw her wronged, cowardice expression and quickly gave in again. I didn't watch anymore. After eating a bit, despite Leo's objections, I checked myself out of the hospital. In the company's underground garage, Jason blocked my way. A flicker of pain passed through his eyes. Lena, I am starting to doubt my choices. Those words made my heart skip. What do you mean, Celine? Jason hesitated, has been acting very suspicious lately. I found out she has a boyfriend in Britain named Mark. She took all his money and only then came back. And then what? She's been in contact with someone named Johnny since she returned. Jason's voice was full of pain. I almost laughed out loud. This is your first love? Jason, you've come to this? So I asked coldly. So I was wrong. Jason suddenly grabbed my hand. Lena, give me a chance. I know you still, Jason. I shook his hand off. Are you here because you've discovered Celine's true colors or because the Zhao family is going bankrupt? He froze in place, his face flushing red then pale. I knew it. I turned to walk away.
Wait.
Jason drew in a deep breath. Could the Lind family reconsider reinvesting? They really can't hold on. Impossible, I said decisively. Jason, some mistakes have to be paid for with a lifetime. After saying that, I walked away without looking back toward Leo, who had come downstairs to meet me. Jason's voice sounded from behind, infused with a despair I had never heard before. Lena, please. I didn't turn around. As we went upstairs, Leo handed me the latest special issue of Business Weekly. My father had used his connections to arrange for us to be featured. The cover story read, Kang Lon Technology, a Nines-born entrepreneur using new tech to change medical imaging. As soon as the magazine hit the stands, investment firms began flooding the company's phones. That night in the office, the TV was airing financial news. Zhao Corporation stock plunged 9% today, hitting a 5-year low. Reports say Zhao Hongjing's real estate projects may become unfinished buildings due to a broken funding chain. Want to change the channel? Leo asked me, holding the remote. No need, I said calmly. That's the business world. The victors write the history. Leo regarded me thoughtfully. You really let it go. I looked out the window. The night was as black as ink. Some people are only meant to live in memories. And some memories are best sealed forever. Just like those 50 years in my past life. Just like that cruel sentence at the moment of death. As I was saying, Tim from the tech department called. Bad news. The servers are under attack again. This time it's worse. The firewall won't hold. Leo and I rushed to the server room. Inside, the tech team was already in chaos. On the main screen, the firewall's defense percentage was plummeting. 87%, 63%, 41%. My palms were sweating with anxiety. Don't worry, Leo said calmly as he stepped up to the console. Activate the trap. This time we have to catch conclusive evidence. Got it, he suddenly shouted. Attack source IP. I immediately dialed 911. 3 hours later, the police caught Johnny and Celine in a hotel right at the computers. According to the police report, they had hired a professional hacking team to steal our medical algorithms and sell them to overseas organizations. That night, Jason staggered into our office drunk. Lena, his suit was disheveled. He reeked of alcohol, and his eyes were bloodshot. You knew? I ignored him. Jason lurched up to me. Celine, that the police just called me to pick them up. I looked at him coldly. And so you win? Jason suddenly shouted, hysteria in his voice. Are you satisfied? I'm the joke of the whole city now. The wedding invitations were sent out, and the bride was arrested in a hotel for commercial crimes, and with another man. Jason, I said calmly, I didn't win because I never considered you a match. The words were like a knife, making him take 2 steps back. Celine, that acted on her own. I didn't order it. He murmured. Forgive me. Enough, Jason. I cut him off. Celine broke the law, but she did it to help you. And you? First, you suspected her of sleeping with someone else, and now you keep calling her a you. You never reflect on your own faults. Are you even a man? I'm here to apologize. Jason suddenly dropped to his knees. This man who had once been unbearably proud now knelt before me like a lost dog. Lena, I'm wrong. I really know I'm wrong. A wave of pity washed over me. This was the man I had loved all my life in a past existence. And now he was performing his remorse for me like a clumsy actor. Get up, I said wearily. Don't make things even more humiliating for yourself. Jason looked up, a flicker of hope in his eyes. You forgive me? Impossible. I looked him straight in the eye. Those words utterly crushed him. Jason collapsed onto the floor, wailing like a child. I've lost everything. Celine is a criminal. The company is going bankrupt. My father's in the hospital dying. Leo handed him a box of tissues, then wisely stepped out of the office and gently closed the door. Jason, I waited until he'd cried himself out before speaking. Do you know why I won't pity you? He shook his head in bewilderment. Because all of this was your own choice, I said calmly. I didn't know it would be like this.
No, you did.
I stood up and looked down at him from above. Because I know you all too well, Jason. You've always been such a selfish person. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Now, please leave. I pressed the security call button. Jason staggered to his feet, and before the guard arrived, he suddenly asked, if back then I hadn't chosen Celine, would we have been happy? The cruelty of that question was that I already knew the answer. In my previous life, I spent 50 years proving that even if he hadn't chosen Celine, we wouldn't have been happy because at his core, he was a selfish man. No, I told him truthfully, because you will always only love yourself. The security guard took Jason away. Leo returned to the office and silently handed me a cup of hot tea. Are you okay? He asked softly. I shook my head, suddenly exhausted. I want to go home. Leo nodded. I'll take you. His car was parked in the company garage. Sitting in the passenger seat, I finally couldn't hold back my tears. Not for Jason, but for my past life, Lena, who loved foolishly her whole life and was never truly loved in return. Leo said nothing, merely handed me a pack of tissues, then turned on the heater. The car drove out of the garage into the night, which was as dark as ink. After Celine was arrested, she revealed that the ones behind it were the Zhao father and son. Jason and his father had attempted to steal our core technology and were blackmailing us for investment. Those who trample the dignity of the law will ultimately face legal punishment. The Zhao Group has formally entered bankruptcy proceedings. I sat in my office scrolling through the avalanche of reports on the financial news sites. I felt nothing. My phone vibrated. A message from Leo. Are you free tonight? My parents are in town and want to treat you to dinner. A smile involuntarily tugged at the corner of my mouth. This lifetime's Leo was a world apart from the tech hotshot of my past life. He was gentle, considerate, and most importantly, when he looked at me, his gaze was always focused and sincere. Of course, I'm free, I replied. Do I need to dress up? No need. It's just home cooking, he answered quickly. My mom heard you like fish and specifically learned the way it's prepared in your hometown. A warm current rose in my chest. Is this what it feels like to be cherished? After dinner, Leo walked me home. The car stopped beneath my apartment building, but he didn't rush to say goodbye. Lena, he hesitated. My parents, they really like you. I like them too. I smiled. Your mom's fish was delicious. Leo took a deep breath and suddenly turned to me.
So, do you like me?
In the night, his eyes were startlingly bright. I watched his nervous expression and suddenly felt playful. As a partner, of course I do, I said deliberately. Leo's shoulders slumped. Oh, as a boyfriend. I leaned closer to him. I prefer that. He snapped his head up, his glasses nearly slipping off. Ray, really? Really? I nodded. Lo, let's be together. The next second, I was drawn into a warm embrace. Leo's heartbeat thudded through his chest, rapid and urgent. I promise I'll be good to you, he whispered in my ear. Better than anyone. The past dissolved like drifting smoke, and a new life was only just beginning.